Welcome to the channel, everyone. This video I'm going to talk about the stud gun. Now, I've done a video before on this, but I'm going to show a couple different attachments, a few aftermarket tools that can make your life a little bit easier when you're using your stud gun. First one I've got is this thing called the stud lever. I don't even know where I bought this, maybe Auto Body Tool Mart, but this works pretty handy. And let me get started and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, I'm going to just put one stud in this rear body panel. Now, if you use the slide hammer that comes with these, they can put quite a bit of damage around here. It'll really pull that nail out, leave a dimple from the inside out. So if you have something that's fairly light you need to pull, this tool here will lock onto that stud, and it's a little leverage bar, and it works as a fulcrum. And you can put a little bit of pressure on there, constant pressure, and sometimes it doesn't do so much damage. You can control the force a little easier than the slide hammer. Okay, this stud lever, the nail goes into this hole on the bottom side here, and it's got a little lever, and that'll lock it into place. Grips on that thing. And I'll show you how this works. Slide that forward, and the pressure, most of the pressure is on this foot right here, and then you can just pull on this bar. The farther back you have this little foot, the more power you're going to get. But in this instant here, that's where I want to hit on that rear body panel, on that other rib. But you can just use the leverage of this bar and pull on it. Now, the only thing I found with this, sometimes it's a little bit awkward if you're on a panel and you need to hammer somewhere close. It is kind of thick, and sometimes you can't get the hammer right around where you need to, where the slide hammer is tapered on the end, but it's a little bit more awkward to pull that handle out and get pressure on it and hammer at the same time. This seems to work pretty nice, but you have to be careful. If you're on the center of a panel, a door or a hood or something, you can put a lot of damage from the downforce from this foot here. So you have to make sure you've got something solid behind it that's not going to cave in. And this rear body panel, it's not going to move this, but that'll give you an idea how that works. But that works great, and you can control the force a little bit easier. You can see it if you're causing any damage. You can see it a little bit easier than the slide hammer. And you can pull on that slide hammer and tap on it lightly or heavy, however you need to, but sometimes you don't see the damage you're doing until you're done hammering on it. This, you can keep a good eye on it. And what I found where this works especially good is somewhere up high. Say you've got a dent in a windshield pillar or a roof rail, the top of your quarter panel. When you're standing up, sometimes, you know, this thing may be up chest high with you. It's hard to get a lot of force on there. It's just kind of awkward. This here, you put that on there and it's a lot closer. Your arms aren't stretched out and trying to slide that hammer up. It doesn't work on everything, but it's like any other tool you have in your toolbox. You're not going to fix one project with one tool. You're going to use multiple. So this is just one of the things that comes in handy. The next clamp I'm going to show you, or tool for your stud gun, is this clamp here, and you can put multiple nails on there and get a wide pull on here. You can use a slide knocker or a pogo stick. So let me show you how this works. I'm going to put some studs on here and we'll get this hooked up. This clamp here, it has a series of holes in here for the nails, and it's got these little set screws in there. And those will go in, and they pull one out here. Nail goes through there. It'll come back quite a ways, and this screw will go in there and tighten up against it to hold it in place. So you can usually get, I usually do about every other one. It's a little bit too tight to try and get a lot of nails in there, but that would give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, roughly 6 nails to pull off of it one time. So I always just use this side here, and if you only need 2 or 3 nails, you just get the ones closest to the center. So as this was pushed in here, and the crease actually starts from here and it gets deeper on this end. So we're going to start from the least amount of damage and work our way over. We're going to line these up. We're going to get all of those there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to tighten these up now. This clamp comes with this little tool. That's what that extra hole is for. Locks into there. But it's got a little bit and it's a hex head. And we'll just do one at a time. We'll tighten these up. Okay, I'm going to get my pogo stick and we'll make a pull on this. Now here we can use the first hook or the second, and if you've seen my video on using this pogo stick, usually the rear hook is better. But in this case, for all we're pulling, this will work. And we're going to keep this angle pretty low in here, pretty close. You can see how much force you can get. You can watch that rear body panel flex. And it's not doing really any damage much to here. Now the crease kind of starts right about in here. So you can control the force pretty good with that. You're pulling on a multiple area. It's a lot easier than welding either metal tabs on here. It's a lot quicker, just weld the studs. And these do have their limitations. You'll know that right away. If you push too hard on this pogo stick, you'll start popping these off. But we can get a lot of pressure on there. So now I'm going to take this off and I'm going to move it over. Now I don't want to just grab the remaining 4. I'm going to get these last 2 that I used and just bend that one out of the way so we got some clearance. We'll line these up and we'll catch all of those, and we should be able to finish this pull with these last studs here. And it's pulling the rear body panel and it's pulling the crease out at the same time. So it does a real good job. Now I'm going to show you another trick. Say you want to hammer on somewhere, whatever you're pulling on, if it's the lip of a quarter panel, and you want to put some pressure on this and you want to hammer on at the same time, but it's a long way from the end of this pogo stick and then try and reach up here with a hammer. So let me show you what I do. All right, I get some kind of a weight to hang on this pogo stick if I'm doing this by myself. And right now I'll try this jack stand. I can hang some weight on there. Sometimes what I've done, if I didn't need a whole lot of weight, even some chains off the frame rack, wrap those around there, but that'll put tension on it. That jack stand's probably 15 pounds, but by the time it's out here on the end, that's quite a bit of pressure on here. So then you can come in there and let that hang as long as it's not going to fall, whatever you're going to use. And you can take and hammer around there. Like I said, works good on quarter panels, on wheel opening lips, where it's pushed in right there and you need some pressure all the way around. And you can put these studs, you can curve them a little bit. They don't have to be in a perfectly straight line because you can bend each individual one to fit in this clamp. So this works pretty good. So this will fix some problems for you. It's like everything else. Every tool has usually more than one use. And with the pogo stick combined with this clamp, with the stud gun, you can fix a lot of damage. All right, those are just a couple of handy tools that'll go along with your stud gun kit. This is probably used about 80% of the time right here, the slide hammer. And I probably use this clamp quite a bit more than this stud lever, just for the fact you got multiple anchors on here. But this will do a good job too, depending on what you're doing. So anyway, I hope this helped you, give you a little bit of information, show you a little more versatility to your stud gun. And if you like this video, give me a thumbs up. And remember, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.